Hello, and welcome to the 215 Moto Unstoppable podcast. I'm your host, Gerald McColgan, and I'm all revved up and ready to go with another epic and inspiring episode. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and get ready to reignite your passion for power sports, resilience, and personal growth. Now let's go. In today's episode, we're diving into the heart of your stories and questions with another round of listener emails. Always raw, real, and inspiring. Then we're shifting gears to a topic every parent and future parent needs to hear: the power of self care and the hidden risk of overparenting. How can you give your kids the best while ensuring you don't lose yourself in the process? We'll explore how balance and boundaries can create healthier, happier families and help you thrive as an individual. Whether you're on two wheels or tackling life's toughest curves, this episode is all about finding harmony and purpose. So I need to be honest with everybody. Things haven't been going well for me lately. I find myself questioning if I'm truly making a difference in my life or in the lives of others. In my effort to improve my own life, I thought, why not help others do the same? But I've been battling my own struggles, family issues, loss, and the ever present darkness that sometimes occupies my mind. There are moments when I wonder, how can I possibly help others when I feel like I'm barely holding on myself? The journey I've chosen isn't easy, and I know that. Often, I feel unsure of what to do next. Like so many of you, I find myself caught in what feels like endless, impossible storms, fighting desperately to stay true to my beliefs. But my God, it's hard. Then, just when I feel like I can't go on, something amazing happens. Like a shining light of hope, I receive emails from people reminding me of the work I've done and the lives I've touched. To everyone who listens to this, and even my new friends in the UK, you mean the world to me. You are the reason I keep going. I pray the light of hope and inspiration shines brightly on you, even in your darkest moments. Now, as we get ready to jump into the emails, I was going to do things a little bit different. Normally, we'll go over emails where people who are find themselves in struggles or in their own personal storms and possibly looking for advice. And if you need to talk to somebody or if you need to vent, get something off your chest, or if you are looking for help or assistance, please feel free to write in to me at 215motounstoppable at gmail.com. If you have something you wish for me to discuss on the show, send that my way also. Or if you just wish to communicate, I'm here. So these two incredible emails are of success stories. And to be honest with you, they came at a time when I needed to, I needed help. And when I went back into the emails, I saw there were several emails that came in, and I went there thinking, okay, let's see if I could help somebody, because honestly, when I feel as though I can help, it makes me feel better. By helping others, we help ourselves. So I was very grateful to see two emails of success stories. So let me read you the first one. Hi, Gerald. I wanted to share my story of how I got back on the road after a serious motorcycle accident last year. I broke my leg in 3 places and was told I might not be able to ride again. At first, I let the negativity sink in, but I decided that wasn't the end of my story. Love it. I committed to physical therapy, leaned on my support system, and set small goals to rebuild my strength. 6 months later, I took my first ride again. It wasn't just about getting back on the bike, it was about proving to myself that I could overcome anything. Now, I'm not only riding, but also volunteering to mentor new riders, helping them build confidence. I hope my story reminds others that setbacks are temporary if you keep moving forward. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Again, I can't say enough how much I appreciate all of you, how grateful I am to have supporters out there that appreciate the efforts of 215 Moto and the 215 Moto Unstoppable podcast. And just being able to have a community where we can be there for one another through good times and in bad. Now, here's the second email. Hey, Gerald, I've been listening to your podcast for a while, and it inspired me to finally take the leap I've been putting off for years. I've always loved motorcycles and dreamed of working in the industry, but I was stuck in a corporate job that I hated. This is definitely one of the main topics we discuss here. After hearing you talk about living authentically and taking risk, I decided to enroll in a motorcycle mechanics program. It wasn't easy. I worked nights and weekends to make it happen. But now I've landed a job at a local dealership and couldn't be happier. Good for you, man. Congratulations. I'm grateful for the push to follow my passion, and I hope others know it's never too late to chase their dream. It's never too late to chase their dream. Incredible, incredible emails here. And I wanted to thank both of you for taking the time to write and send them in. Honestly, you have no idea how great it was for me to see these emails in there. So, again, I thank you all. And to everyone else, too, man. Like I said, if just to communicate with the show or communicate with me, 215 Moto Unstoppable at gmail.com. So I wanted to put something together here for parents and also future parents. I have a son, I have a granddaughter. And to be honest with you, being a parent isn't easy. We do our best to encourage, to love, and to support our kids. And sometimes we wonder, man, like, could I have done more? Could I have, I made my fair share of mistakes as a parent, like so many of us do. And to be honest with you, man, time flies by. 5 years, 10 years, gone like in the blink of an eye. And then when we see our kids, when we see them grow as adults, Sometimes you can't help but look back and wish you did more. So, like I said, man, I wanted to put a little something together for parents out there, and hopefully, you know, can help you, make you feel a little bit better. And also, man, this is big for future parents. I know of people who are expecting their first kid, man, and I know it's exciting, it's scary. Sometimes you kind of wish, there's no manual, there's no right or wrong way. Well, there's definitely a wrong way to raise your kids, I guess. But it's so important, man, like that love is the number one priority. So, like so many things in my life, you know, I've learned a lot through successes, and I learned even more through failures. And I guess that's just life in a whole. So I did, I put something together here, and I hope it helps. So today we're tackling a topic that hits close to home for so many of us. Let me start with a question. Have you ever felt like you're running on empty, giving every ounce of yourself to your kids, but leaving nothing for yourself? Be honest. If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. Here's the thing: parenthood is one of life's greatest blessings, but it can also be one of the most overwhelming responsibilities. Somewhere along the way, many parents start to believe that sacrificing their own well being is the ultimate act of love. But is it? What if I told you the best thing you can do for the people you love, especially your kids, is to take care of yourself first, to be the best you that you can be? Now, I know that might sound counterintuitive, even selfish, but stick with me. When you go on an airplane and they talk about the possibility of the cabin deep with depressurization, and they act like when the masks fall from the ceiling, what do they say? They say put the mask on yourself first before helping others. So in today's episode, we're going to explore why putting yourself last doesn't actually help anyone. Why letting your kids face challenges is one of the greatest gifts you can give them, and how you can make changes that benefit your whole family. Now, this isn't about judgment. It's about making a shift that could change your life and your family's dynamic for the better. So get comfortable and let's dive in. All right, let's get real. I've seen it countless times. Parents who stop taking care of themselves the moment they have kids. Maybe it starts small: skipping the gym because there's no time, eating fast food because it's convenient, or letting hobbies fall by the wayside because they feel like a luxury. But over time, these small sacrifices add up, and suddenly you don't recognize yourself anymore. You feel tired all the time, you're stressed, and you can't remember the last time you did something just for you. Does this sound familiar? Now, I want to make it this clear. I'm not saying you shouldn't care for your kids. Of course you should. But there's a difference between being a loving, supportive parent and being a martyr. When you neglect yourself, here's what happens: you burn out. When you're constantly running on fumes, you're not showing up as your best self. You're more irritable, less patient, and let's face it, less fun to be around. You model the wrong behavior. Your kids are watching you. If they see you putting yourself last, they'll grow up thinking that's what adulthood looks like. Is that what you want for them? You missed the bigger picture. Parenthood is a marathon, not a sprint. If you don't pace yourself, you're not going to make it to the finish line in one piece. But the most heartbreaking part, when we give everything to our kids without keeping anything for ourselves, we rob them of the chance to learn some of life's most valuable lessons. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine worked tirelessly to give his kids everything he didn't have growing up. He thought he was doing the right thing. But one day, his teenage son told him, "Dad, I feel like you don't even enjoy your life." That was a wake up call. His son didn't need more toys or activities. He needed to see his dad happy and fulfilled. This brings me to my next point: the dangers of doing too much for your kids. Let's talk about our kids for a second. As parents, our instinct is to protect them from pain, to make their lives as easy as possible. But here's the hard truth: struggle is what makes us grow. Think about your own life. What were the moments that shaped you the most? Was it the easy times, or was it the times you had to dig deep, face challenges, and come out stronger? When we shield our kids from every hardship, when we step in and solve every problem for them, we're not helping them, we're crippling them. Let me give you another example. I know a family where the parents did everything for their kids. I mean, everything. They solved their homework problems, stepped in to resolve conflicts at school, and made sure they never had to face disappointment. Guess what happened when those kids grew up? They couldn't handle the real world. They struggled to hold down jobs, maintain relationships, and make decisions because they never had to before. On the flip side, I've seen kids who face struggles early on. Maybe they had to work for their allowance or figure out how to fix their own bike. Those kids grow up to be resilient, resourceful, and confident adults. So, what can we do instead? We can let our kids struggle a little, let them solve their own problems, make their own mistakes, and learn their own lessons. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And while they're doing that, we can use that time to focus on us. Which brings me to the solution. So we've talked about the problem. Now let's focus on the solution. Now, to parents, this is non negotiable. You must make time for exercise, even if it's just a quick walk. Cook meals that nourish your body, and most importantly, take care of your mental health. If you're feeling overwhelmed, find someone to talk to. Hell, right into and talk to me, 215 moto unstoppable at gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And another big thing I like to discuss for parents is to rediscover your passions. What lights you up? Is it riding motorcycles, painting, traveling, writing, sports, whatever it is, you must make time for it. When your kids see you pursuing your passions, they'll learn that it's okay to prioritize themselves too. And you must create balance, set boundaries, and remember, it's okay to say no. It's okay if your kids don't have every single thing they want. They need you to be happy more than they need more stuff. And it's important to let your kids struggle. I can't stress this enough. Let them fail. Let them get frustrated and let them figure out how to bounce back. And make self care a family affair. You don't have to do it alone. Exercise together as a family. Eat healthy as a family. Find an activity that everyone enjoys. Maybe going to the beach, maybe hiking together, bike riding together, go on a picnic, throw the football, whatever it is, man. Just get out, get outside, try and go in nature, find a park that you can hike on trails together as a family. That's healthy for everybody. When you take care of yourself, remember, you're teaching them to do the same. So here's my challenge for you. This week, do one thing for yourself, just one. Maybe it is going to the gym. Maybe it's finding a nice quiet spot to sit and read. I highly recommend, look into meditation, yoga. Me personally, again, I love writing. And another thing too, we said earlier, it's okay to say no, especially if it's to something that's draining you. And remember, the best thing you can do for your family is to be the best version of yourself. When you thrive, they thrive. And this is exactly like what you hear me say over and over again. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This is the same thing applies here. You work hard on your job, you make a living. You work hard on yourself, you could make a fortune. The possibilities are limitless. By setting goals, working towards your dreams can truly make you unstoppable. By being the best you can be for your loved ones, sets an amazing example for your kids of what it means to be an adult, what it means to be healthy, what it means to be strong mentally and physically. We are always setting the example for our children. And it's important that we keep that in mind. We want our kids to be as healthy as possible. But if our kids see us not being healthy, not taking care of ourselves, we are just setting a poor example. So I know this was kind of a short one, but it was also very meaningful to me. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the 215 Moto Unstoppable podcast. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone you think needs to hear it. And as always, stay healthy, stay positive, and go enjoy your life. Thank you.